This is one of the most improbable plays from college basketball season. Yet it was never going to make SportsCenter.
So Kindon Crowder on the board. He's made his first field goal.
But to fully understand the importance of the shot, one has to go all the way back to here, a year ago, when we were first introduced to Cardinals walk-on, Kindon Crowder. When was the last time you were actually on a basketball team?
The last time I was actually on a basketball team was freshman year at St. Francis de Sales.
That's St. Francis de Sales High School, where Crowder went on to become a 3-year manager, a post he would assume upon his arrival to college at Ball State as well, but not before reaching higher.
I tried out my freshman year. I remember like it was yesterday. I came off a screen, somebody sent me a pick. First shot, top of the key, shot it. It looked good. It looked perfect. It airballed, and I was like, yeah, it's done. I'm not going to make it.
Understandably, he didn't. But watching from high atop his video perch, his dream never died.
Every year we told KD to go try out. Every year we try to get him to try out, and like, hey man, you can make it. You can make it. You know, forget this managing stuff. You know, you can make it. Didn't make it.
But Crowder was never deterred by any of his failed attempts. Often found in the Ball State rec, working and grinding to get better, many times with some help of friends.
I was willing to help him if I could, and if not, then I was willing to at least, sit there and at least try to figure it out with them. So that's just what friends are for, and that's what we're here for. We're here for each other. We're like brothers. So
anyone from Juwan Scaife to Jared Jones and Tyree Robinson all worked out with Kindon, teaching him the same things that they learned every day. And slowly but surely, he got better. Enough so that midway through the season last year, when the Cardinals were short on walk-ons, they turned to Crowder, just needing a consistent presence in practice. But by year's end, he earned the honor of dressing for games.
I just put my head down. Like, I didn't want to cry because, I was too fly to cry, in front of the crowd. But went to the locker room, I seen number 21, and then it hit me.
But that's where the story ended. A great story, yeah, but one devoid of something. The bright lights, the game action. You see, Kindon never actually saw the floor. Then enter the walk-on's secret friend. A coaching change and a fresh start.
The 19th head coach in Ball State men's basketball history, James Whitford.
My first priority was books, education. I wanted to make sure I passed all my classes. I wanted to make sure my GPA was good, so when he looked at me, he would think I wasn't playing around, that I was serious. And so I wanted to make sure that, he just kept me on the team.
As I was evaluating players, I didn't really have him in the mix of guys that I was looking at because I knew he was a walk-on who had never really played and was a former manager. So I asked him to do things that pure scout team stuff, and my impressions were a very high character guy who's going to really help the team in a lot of ways, but I did not expect him to help us on the court. Initially
left out of the team's summer skill work, Kindon worked out on his own, putting up more than 30,000 threes. And yeah, Whitford noticed.
If I had someone in there that say, hey, I watch your guys play, boy, Kindon looked good. And I was always surprised that his name kept coming up.
Kindon's work ethic impressed so much that come the season's second game, albeit in garbage time, Crowder got the call, and he answered.
At first I was nervous. I'm like, he want me to, go out there and, okay, all right.
That Taylor game turned out to be Crowder's only action in the season's first 7 games. 2 minutes with an assist and a block. Surely that would have been enough. But then in December, right before the Cardinals' road trip to Marquette, a Big East foe in an NBA arena and on national television, Whitford made a comment during his weekly press conference that made some ears perk up.
I've moved him off the scout team, and I've moved him into the A team, which means I view him as a guy that I'm trying to put in position to play now.
I felt like we needed a guy in the court that brought the intangibles that Kindon brought, but the more I put him in, the more he played well. And then the more I realized, he actually brings some things to our team that help us on the court.
His character is what's really keeping him out there on the floor because, he communicates so well. And, and that's something that we need.
There's a lot of players on our team that's better than me. But, when I go out there, I want to make sure that we equal. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to bring something. You're going to have to bring something to a different level, to try to outwork me.
Come the Marquette game, Whitford kept his word. And midway through the first half, Crowder checked in.
It was an air ball. I didn't put my head down, though. I just kept my head up, I talked to Coach Nelson, like during the timeout, he told me, just relax. I know it's your first game. Just relax, be calm, be cool. And he just sent me back out there. So I was like, okay, if they believe in me, I can believe in myself.
So Crowder got back out there.
Crowder for three. Wow, missed badly.
Maybe it's my last time playing Division I basketball. So I was like, well, sorry, it was good while it lasted.
But the third time, he'll remember most.
And there he is. So Kindon Crowder.
I don't know if I smiled or not, but I was excited that I went in. I was just ready to get back and play defense. So I thought about it after the game, but not during the game, though.
Kindon became a fixture in the Cardinals lineup, played 23 minutes at Central Michigan, scored 10 points against Eastern Michigan. And a fairly obvious, if not cliche, comparison was made.
A lot of people kept calling me Rudy. After a while, I stopped liking it. I was like, man, who is Rudy? Because I never really seen the movie. So everybody was like, yeah, Rudy, Rudy, and all the teammates and the coaches just called me Rudy. So I was just like, after I seen the movie, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I just kept the title, I guess.
The nicknames, the stat lines, the national TV, it's all great. But for Crowder, the biggest moment is the one that validated everything.
Probably seen like my parents coming down here, like my whole family. It was my first time they ever seen me play. I felt like I accomplished something.
It was a time, he had earned. He did it the right way. Nothing was given to him. Everything was earned the way it should be. And it was fun to watch his family be able to kind of see him out there and know all he's accomplished.
Which is why for every Bryce Drew or Christian Laettner that March may breed, it's really the shots made by the Kindon Crowders of the world on a Tuesday in December in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that are really the most remarkable. Joel Godet for BallStateSports.com.